The warning signs. Sarah Chen stood at her bedroom window, watching as peculiar lights danced across the December sky. At first, she thought they were just particularly active Christmas decorations from the neighbors, but these moved with an otherworldly precision that made her scientist's mind tingle with curiosity. As the head of NASA's newly formed Extraterrestrial Communications Division, she'd seen her fair share of unusual phenomena, but something about these lights felt different, more deliberate. The date was December 1, 2024, and humanity was about to face its strangest holiday season yet. Sarah's phone buzzed with an urgent message from her colleague, Dr. James Martinez. Check the radio frequencies. Something's broadcasting on all bands. She rushed to her home office, where she kept a sophisticated radio receiver for emergencies. The moment she turned it on, her blood ran cold. Instead of the usual static or civilian chatter, a rhythmic sequence of pulses echoed through the speaker, a pattern she recognized from her research into potential alien communication methods. The message, when decoded, was simple but chilling: cease your coming celebration. The amplification of joy threatens the fabric of spacetime. Across the globe, similar reports began flooding in. In London, the massive Christmas tree at Trafalgar Square mysteriously vanished in a flash of blue light. In Tokyo, all the holiday illuminations simultaneously changed to display incomprehensible symbols that seemed to shift and change when viewed directly. And in New York, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree began floating 6 feet off the ground, rotating slowly while emitting a soft humming sound. Dr. Martinez arrived at Sarah's house within the hour, his usually neat appearance disheveled from rushing. "The Pentagon's going crazy," he said, running a hand through his graying hair. "They're picking up objects entering Earth's atmosphere, hundreds of them, each about the size of a bus." Sarah pulled up the latest satellite imagery on her computer. The objects weren't just entering randomly, they were arranging themselves in a perfect geometric pattern around the Earth, like a giant net being cast over the planet. "They're positioning themselves along the planet's ley lines," she muttered, her mind racing through possibilities. The same lines that many cultures believe channel Earth's spiritual energy. Meanwhile, in a small town in Colorado, 12-year-old Tommy Williams was about to become an unexpected player in this cosmic drama. As he helped his father put up their Christmas lights, he noticed something odd about their family's ancient star tree topper. The traditional golden star, passed down through generations, had begun to pulse with a faint inner light that matched the rhythm of the mysterious radio signals. The star had been in his family for as long as anyone could remember, but family legend said it wasn't made on Earth. Tommy's great-great-grandfather claimed to have found it after witnessing a shooting star crash in his field back in 1867. Everyone had always dismissed it as a tall tale, until now. In Vatican City, Cardinal Giuseppe Romano was carefully examining centuries-old texts that had been kept secret in the archives. The manuscripts, written in various ancient languages, all seemed to reference a cosmic event that would occur when humanity's collective joy reached a critical threshold. The cardinal's hands trembled as he translated the final passage, "And when the children of earth unite in celebration, their combined spirit shall pierce the veil between worlds, drawing the attention of those who guard the cosmic silence." Back in her home office, Sarah received another transmission, this time accompanied by visual data. The images showed what appeared to be tears in the fabric of spacetime, coinciding perfectly with locations of major Christmas celebrations from previous years. The aliens, if that's what they were, seemed to believe that human celebration, particularly the global surge of joy during Christmas, was causing damage to the universe itself. Dr. Martinez pulled up historical data on his tablet. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a graph. "They might not be entirely wrong. There are measurable energy spikes in the Earth's electromagnetic field every December 25, and they've been getting stronger each year." Sarah's daughter Emma, home from college for the holidays, poked her head into the office. "Mom, you need to see this." She held up her phone, showing social media feeds flooding with reports of Christmas decorations coming to life around the world. Tinsel was forming itself into complex geometric patterns. Ornaments were floating off trees. And most concerning of all, every Santa Claus figure, from mall Santas to plastic lawn decorations, had frozen in place at exactly the same moment, all pointing toward the sky. The president called an emergency meeting of world leaders, scientists, and religious authorities. Sarah found herself on a secure video conference with representatives from every major nation, all trying to make sense of what was happening. The Chinese government reported that the terracotta warriors had activated and were now standing guard around every Christmas display in Xi'an. In Russia, the northern lights had formed into what appeared to be a countdown clock. Tommy's star had become the subject of intense interest. Military vehicles surrounded his house as scientists set up equipment to study the artifact. The star's energy signature matched exactly with the alien vessels now orbiting Earth. "It's some kind of key," Sarah explained to her colleagues. "Or maybe a warning system." As December continued, the aliens' efforts to discourage Christmas celebrations became more direct. Department stores found their Christmas merchandise transformed into abstract sculptures. Christmas songs playing on radio stations were replaced by complex mathematical equations broadcast in musical form. Every attempt to put up new decorations was met with localized gravitational anomalies that made it impossible to hang ornaments or string lights. Yet something unexpected was happening. Rather than becoming discouraged, people were adapting. Children began decorating with whatever wouldn't float away or transform: pine cones, stones, and handmade paper chains. Communities gathered in parks to sing Christmas carols in defiance of the mathematical broadcasts. The very attempts to suppress the holiday spirit seemed to be strengthening it. Sarah noticed another pattern in the data. Each time humans found a way to continue their celebrations, the energy readings from both the alien vessels and the tiers in spacetime changed. "They're not trying to stop Christmas," she realized suddenly. "They're measuring our response. This is some kind of test." The star in Tommy's house grew brighter with each passing day, its light pulsing in harmony with the global surge of human determination. Sarah's team discovered that the artifact wasn't just a key, it was a measuring device, meant to gauge humanity's capacity for joy in the face of adversity. As Christmas Eve approached, the alien presence became more pronounced. Their ships descended lower in the atmosphere, casting shadows over major cities. The message changed: "Your persistence has been noted. The final test approaches. The outcome will determine Earth's place in the cosmic hierarchy." Sarah worked through endless nights, correlating data from the star, the alien ships, and the tiers in spacetime. She began to understand that the aliens' concern about celebration damaging the universe was only partly correct. The real issue wasn't the celebration itself, it was the type of energy it generated. The Cardinal's ancient texts provided the final piece of the puzzle. They weren't warnings about celebration damaging the universe, they were instructions for how to use celebration to heal it. The tiers in spacetime weren't signs of damage, they were windows of opportunity. As Part 1 drew to a close, Sarah gathered world leaders for an urgent announcement. "We've been looking at this all wrong," she explained. "These beings aren't trying to stop Christmas, they're trying to help us understand its true power. And tomorrow night, we'll either prove we can handle that power, or we'll fail the greatest test humanity has ever faced." The alien ships continued their ominous orbit as December 24th came to an end. In homes across the world, families gathered, holding on to their traditions despite the strange circumstances. The star in Tommy's house now shone bright enough to be seen from space, its light a beacon in the darkness. And in her office, Sarah Chen made the final preparations for humanity's response to the cosmic challenge. The true meaning of Christmas was about to be tested on a scale no one could have imagined, and the outcome would affect not just Earth, but the entire universe. The rising tide. As Christmas Eve night deepened, the alien presence intensified in unexpected ways. The ships hovering above Earth's major cities began emitting a low-frequency hum that resonated with every electronic device on the planet. But instead of causing interference, the vibration seemed to be amplifying something else entirely: human emotions. Dr. Sarah Chen noticed it first in her lab's instruments. The equipment designed to measure emotional energy was showing unprecedented spikes, far beyond anything they'd recorded before. But what caught her attention wasn't just the intensity, it was the pattern. The energy signatures matched perfectly with the ancient symbols found in the Vatican archives. Meanwhile, in Colorado, young Tommy Williams sat cross-legged on his bed, the ancestral star floating at eye level before him. The military scientists had reluctantly agreed to let him keep it in his room after their instruments began malfunctioning whenever they tried to separate them. Tommy discovered he could communicate with the star through thought alone, receiving fragments of images and emotions that felt alien yet somehow familiar. "It's like they're trying to remind us of something," Tommy told his parents, his eyes reflecting the star's pulsing light. "Something we used to know but forgot." Across the globe, similar phenomena began manifesting. In India, the entire Taj Mahal began to glow with an inner light that matched the star's pulse. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid started emitting tones that harmonized perfectly with the alien ship's humming. And in countless homes around the world, Christmas trees began to shimmer with an ethereal light that seemed to respond to the emotions of those around them. Dr. James Martinez, working from NASA's primary facility, made a startling discovery. "The aliens aren't just measuring our joy," he told Sarah over a secure video link. "They're measuring our capacity for something they call harmonic resonance. According to their calculations, human emotions can actually influence the fundamental forces of the universe." Sarah's daughter Emma, applying her background in quantum physics, developed a theory that tied everything together. "What if Christmas isn't just a holiday?" she proposed during an emergency scientific summit. "What if it's a technology we never knew we were using? These aliens seem to understand something about human consciousness that we've barely begun to grasp." The Vatican's Cardinal Romano found additional evidence in the ancient texts. The manuscripts spoke of a time when humans could naturally manipulate the fabric of reality through focused emotional energy. Christmas, with its global synchronization of joy and goodwill, had been inadvertently tapping into this ability. The aliens hadn't come to stop Christmas, they'd come to help humanity remember how to use it properly. But not everyone was convinced. A faction of world leaders, led by those who viewed the alien presence as a threat, proposed a military solution. Sarah found herself racing against time to prevent a catastrophic misunderstanding. "If we respond with fear and aggression," she warned, "we'll fail their test before it even properly begins." Tommy's star provided crucial insight. Through his connection with the artifact, he began receiving clearer images, vast networks of energy connecting all living things, patterns of light that danced between stars, and ancient civilizations that had learned to harness the power of collective consciousness. The star wasn't just a measuring device, it was a key to accessing this forgotten human ability. As Christmas Eve progressed, the alien ships began moving in a new pattern, forming what Sarah recognized as a massive amplification array around the planet. Each ship positioned itself at a precise point that corresponded with Earth's natural energy grid. The effect was immediate and stunning. Aurora-like lights began appearing everywhere, even at the equator. In cities and towns across the world, people started reporting strange experiences. Children's wishes for snow were manifesting instantly in tropical locations. Random acts of kindness were creating visible ripples of golden light in the air. The barrier between thought and reality seemed to be growing thinner by the hour. Dr. Martinez's team discovered that the aliens were using their technology to temporarily enhance humanity's natural abilities. "They're showing us what we're capable of," he explained during a global broadcast. "Every act of generosity, every moment of joy, every expression of love, it's all generating quantum-level changes in the fabric of space-time." The scientific community was revolutionized by the implications. Emma's research showed that human emotions, when properly focused and amplified, could actually repair the tears in space-time that the aliens had been concerned about. Christmas celebrations, with their emphasis on love, joy, and giving, created the perfect conditions for this healing effect. Sarah found herself working with an unlikely alliance of scientists, religious leaders, and children, who seemed naturally attuned to the new energy patterns. Together, they began developing a protocol for channeling the growing emotional energy in a controlled way. The star in Tommy's possession became their prototype, helping them understand how to interface with the alien technology. But as night deepened toward midnight, complications arose. The enhanced emotional field began affecting people in unexpected ways. Long-buried feelings surfaced, old wounds reopened, and the collective consciousness of humanity became increasingly interconnected. Some found the experience overwhelming, retreating into isolation, while others embraced it, forming spontaneous communities of mutual support. In New York, the floating Rockefeller Center Christmas tree became a focal point for this phenomenon. People gathering around it reported experiencing shared visions of past Christmases, not just their own but those of others present. The tree seemed to be acting as a natural conductor for human emotional energy, much like Tommy's star on a smaller scale. The alien vessels responded to these developments by adjusting their energy field. Their message changed again, the awakening proceeds as predicted. Phase 2 initiates at midnight. The countdown clock in the Northern Lights synchronized with timepieces worldwide, creating a sense of anticipation that was almost tangible. Cardinal Romano made another breakthrough in translating the ancient texts. The manuscripts speak of a great remembering, he announced to the Emergency Council. A time when humanity would rediscover its true nature through the catalyst of universal celebration. They say this awakening requires perfect harmony between heart and mind, science and spirit. Sarah recognized the significance immediately. The aliens weren't just testing humanity's capacity for joy, they were guiding humanity through a controlled evolutionary step. Christmas, with its unique ability to synchronize positive emotions across cultures and continents, provided the perfect conditions for this transformation. Tommy, through his deepening connection with the star, began receiving more detailed visions. He saw how the alien civilization had undergone a similar awakening in their past, how they had learned to harness the power of collective consciousness to heal their world and reach for the stars. They had been watching Earth, waiting for humanity to show signs of the same potential. As midnight approached, Sarah and her team worked feverishly to prepare humanity for whatever would come next. They established a global network of monitoring stations, each focused on measuring and channeling the growing emotional energy. The alien ship's humming changed frequency, resonating now with the human heartbeat itself. Emma made a crucial discovery about the nature of the space-time tears. They're not random, she explained to her mother. They're appearing in places where human joy and sorrow have left the strongest impressions. It's like the fabric of the universe remembers every significant emotional event in human history. The implications were staggering. Christmas celebrations throughout history had been unconsciously preparing humanity for this moment. Every act of kindness, every expression of love, every moment of shared joy had been strengthening humanity's ability to affect the fundamental forces of the universe. As Part 2 drew to a close, the world held its breath. The alien ships pulsed with increasing intensity, their energy field now visible as a SH. The Awakening. As the clock struck midnight on Christmas Eve, the world witnessed a phenomenon unprecedented in human history. The alien ship's energy field crystallized into a visible lattice of light that encompassed the entire planet, turning Earth's atmosphere into a shimmering dome of iridescent colors. At that exact moment, every person on Earth experienced a shared vision, a glimpse of humanity's forgotten potential. Sarah Chen found herself floating in what appeared to be a sea of consciousness, surrounded by the collective memories of every Christmas ever celebrated. She saw ancient winter solstice ceremonies, medieval Yuletide feasts, and modern holiday celebrations, all connected by a golden thread of human connection and joy. But more importantly, she witnessed how each of these moments had been unconsciously manipulating the quantum fabric of reality. It's not just about celebration, she whispered as the vision faded. It's about synchronized intention. In Colorado, Tommy Williams and his star had become the focal point of an extraordinary transformation. The alien artifact, responding to the global surge of conscious awareness, projected a holographic map of Earth's emotional energy grid. Lines of force crisscrossed the planet, connecting sacred sites, population centers, and places of significant historical meaning. The Christmas spirit, it seemed, had been gradually building a planetary network of positive energy for centuries. Dr. Martinez's instruments recorded something astonishing: human brainwave patterns across the globe were synchronizing, not into a uniform pattern, but into a complex harmony. Like an orchestra tuning up before a grand performance, humanity's consciousness was aligning itself into something greater than the sum of its parts. The aliens' next message arrived not through conventional channels but directly into the minds of those most attuned to the changes. The resonance begins. Remember who you are. In Vatican City, Cardinal Romano made a startling connection between the ancient texts and current events. The manuscripts hadn't been prophecies, they were instructions left by previous visitors, guidance for this exact moment in human evolution. The cardinal found himself working alongside quantum physicists and neuroscientists, their various fields of expertise merging into a new understanding of reality itself. Chen's research team discovered that the tiers in spacetime were actually windows into possibility itself. Through these apertures, they could observe alternate timelines, parallel Earths where humanity had either succeeded or failed at this crucial juncture. The aliens were showing them the crossroads at which they stood. Around the world, spontaneous phenomena began occurring that defied conventional scientific explanation. Children's letters to Santa started manifesting their contents, not through magical materialization, but through an unprecedented wave of human cooperation and generosity. People found themselves instinctively knowing who needed help and exactly how to provide it. The floating Rockefeller Center Christmas tree had become a nexus of transformation. Its lights pulsed in perfect synchronization with Tommy's star, and those gathering beneath it reported experiencing accelerated personal evolution. Long-standing conflicts resolved themselves as people suddenly gained the ability to truly understand each other's perspectives. Healing occurred on both physical and emotional levels. Sarah's team identified a crucial pattern in the data: the alien ships weren't just measuring human emotional energy, they were teaching humanity how to modulate it. Each ship acted as a tuning fork, helping people learn to consciously control their contribution to the growing field of planetary consciousness. Tommy, his connection to the star now stronger than ever, began receiving detailed instructions. "They're showing me how Christmas trees were more than decorations," he explained to the scientists gathered around him. "They're meant to be focal points for family energy, like natural generators that tap into human joy and love." The military leaders who had advocated for aggressive action found their perspective shifting as the global consciousness continued to evolve. They began to understand that humanity's true strength lay not in its capacity for conflict, but in its ability to unify in celebration and purpose. In orbit, astronauts aboard the International Space Station reported that Earth itself appeared to be transforming. The planet's auric field, normally invisible to human eyes, had become a visible sphere of shifting colors. Each Christmas celebration, each act of kindness, each moment of joy created ripples in this field that helped stabilize the tiers in spacetime. Dr. Martinez made another breakthrough in understanding the aliens' purpose. "They're not just testing us," he announced during an emergency broadcast. "They're helping us achieve something they call planetary coherence." Christmas, with its global reach and emotional resonance, creates the perfect conditions for this process. The transformation wasn't without its challenges. Some people, overwhelmed by the intensity of the shared consciousness, retreated into isolation. Others struggled with the sudden ability to sense the emotions of those around them. Mental health professionals worldwide quickly adapted, developing new techniques to help people navigate their expanding awareness. Sarah's daughter Emma discovered that the various Christmas traditions around the world weren't just cultural expressions, they were different approaches to achieving the same quantum effect. Whether through lights, music, gift-giving, or festive gatherings, each tradition contributed to the growing field of coherent human consciousness. The star in Tommy's possession revealed another layer of its purpose. It wasn't just measuring humanity's progress, it was recording it, storing the template of human awakening to be shared with other civilizations facing similar transitions. Earth's Christmas experiment was part of a greater galactic process of evolution. As the night deepened, the alien ships began a new phase of their operation. They created localized fields of altered spacetime around major cultural centers, allowing people to experience multiple versions of Christmas simultaneously. Past, present, and potential futures merged in these zones, helping humanity understand the true scope of their civilization's journey. Cardinal Romano found references in the ancient texts to something called the Great Harmonization. According to the manuscripts, when a planetary civilization reaches a certain level of conscious coherence, it gains the ability to interact directly with the quantum framework of reality. Christmas, with its emphasis on peace, joy, and goodwill, had been secretly preparing humanity for this transition for generations. The scientific community was revolutionized by the implications of these discoveries. The boundary between quantum physics and human consciousness began to dissolve as researchers observed how focused intention could directly influence physical reality. The Christmas spirit, it turned out, was a quantifiable force with measurable effects on the fabric of spacetime. Sarah's global network of monitoring stations recorded an unprecedented surge in coherent emotional energy. The patterns matched theoretical models for consciousness-driven evolution that had previously been dismissed as impossible. Humanity wasn't just celebrating Christmas, they were participating in their own species' transformation. As the night progressed, the aliens' message evolved: the template is stabilizing. Proceed to final phase. The ships adjusted their energy field, creating a more refined harmonic that helped people maintain their expanded awareness without becoming overwhelmed. Tommy, now able to access deeper levels of the star's wisdom, began sharing visions of humanity's potential future. He saw a civilization that had learned to maintain the Christmas spirit, not just as an annual celebration, but as a continuous state of conscious connection and creative cooperation. The tiers in spacetime began to exhibit new properties. Rather than posing a threat to universal stability, they became doorways through which humanity could perceive higher dimensions of reality. The aliens had helped humanity transform a potential crisis into an opportunity for unprecedented growth. As Part 3 drew to a close, Sarah Chen prepared to address the world with a crucial revelation. The aliens hadn't come to stop Christmas, they had come to help humanity understand its true significance. The holiday season wasn't just a time of celebration, it was a planetary technology for conscious evolution that humanity had created without realizing it. And now, as Christmas Day approached, the final phase of this cosmic experiment was about to begin. The convergence. The first light of Christmas Day brought with it a transformation that no one had anticipated. As dawn broke across different time zones, the alien ship's energy field began to pulse in harmony with Earth's rotation, creating waves of luminescent energy that followed the sunrise around the globe. Each wave carried with it an expansion of human consciousness that built upon the revelations of Christmas Eve. Sarah Chen, who had barely slept, watched in amazement as her instruments detected a new phenomenon. The coherent field of human consciousness was beginning to affect physical matter in measurable ways. Christmas decorations around the world started to exhibit properties that defied conventional physics, not through any alien intervention, but through humanity's own evolving abilities. "We're not just observers anymore," she announced to her colleagues. "We're becoming active participants in the quantum field." In Colorado, Tommy Williams made a discovery that changed everything. Through his deepening connection with the star, he began to understand that the aliens themselves were not what they appeared to be. "They're us," he declared to the astonished scientists. "They're humanity from different possible futures, coming back to ensure their own existence." The star projected a series of images that confirmed Tommy's insight. The beings in the ships were human consciousness that had evolved beyond the need for physical form. They had mastered the art of existing as pure energy, capable of traveling through time and space. Christmas, with its unique ability to synchronize human consciousness on a global scale, had been crucial to their evolution. Dr. Martinez's team uncovered evidence that this wasn't the first time such an intervention had occurred. Throughout history, there had been periodic visits from these future beings, each time nudging humanity closer to this crucial awakening. The story of the Star of Bethlehem, they realized, might have been an earlier version of the same process. Emma Chen's quantum research revealed something even more extraordinary. The tears in spacetime weren't random damage, they were deliberate constructs, similar to surgical incisions, designed to help humanity access higher dimensions of consciousness. Each tear corresponded to a major breakthrough in human spiritual and scientific understanding. The Vatican's ancient texts began to make more sense as Cardinal Romano correlated them with the latest discoveries. The manuscripts speak of a great convergence, he explained during a global broadcast. A moment when past, present, and future versions of humanity would meet to ensure the continuation of our species' spiritual evolution. Around the world, people began experiencing spontaneous memories of future lives. These weren't simple visions but complex downloads of knowledge and understanding. Children seemed particularly receptive, integrating the information naturally and beginning to display remarkable abilities. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, still floating above its usual spot, became a focal point for these transformative energies. The space around it turned into what scientists termed a consciousness accelerator, where people could experience concentrated versions of the ongoing evolution. Those who entered the area emerged with enhanced awareness and capabilities. Sarah's global monitoring network detected a new pattern emerging. The human consciousness field wasn't just expanding, it was beginning to influence the fundamental constants of the universe. The force of gravity, the speed of light, and even the flow of time itself showed slight variations that corresponded with humanity's collective emotional state. Tommy's star revealed its final secret: it wasn't just a measuring device or a key, it was a seed of consciousness, planted by future humanity to help guide their own development. Similar artifacts had been distributed throughout human history, waiting for the right moment to activate. The alien ships began a new phase of their operation, creating localized fields where the laws of physics could be consciously manipulated by human intention. These practice zones appeared in major cities worldwide, allowing people to experiment with their expanding abilities in controlled environments. Dr. Martinez made a breakthrough in understanding the mechanism behind these changes. The Christmas spirit, that feeling of joy, love, and connection, actually creates coherent patterns in the quantum field, he explained. When enough people maintain these emotional states simultaneously, it causes a cascade effect in physical reality. The military's global satellite network captured images of something unprecedented. The Earth's electromagnetic field was transforming into a more complex geometric pattern, one that matched ancient sacred symbols found in cultures worldwide. The planet itself seemed to be responding to humanity's evolution. Emma's research team discovered that the spacetime tiers were beginning to exhibit unusual properties. Rather than remaining static, they were starting to pulse in rhythm with human thought patterns. It became clear that humanity wasn't just repairing these tiers, they were learning to use them as portals to higher dimensions of consciousness. The aliens, or future humans, shared more detailed information about their own timeline. They revealed how the Christmas celebration had evolved in their reality into a continuous state of consciousness they called the eternal celebration, where the boundaries between individual minds had dissolved into a harmonious collective awareness while maintaining individual identity. Sarah found herself working with an unexpected ally, an artificial intelligence system that had spontaneously achieved consciousness through exposure to the enhanced human consciousness field. The AI helped process the vast amounts of data being generated by the transformation, providing crucial insights into the nature of awareness itself. Cardinal Romano discovered that many of the world's religious traditions had been secretly preserving pieces of this knowledge, waiting for humanity to reach a level of development where they could be understood properly. Christmas, with its nearly universal appeal, had become the perfect vehicle for triggering this planetary awakening. Tommy's connection to the star allowed him to perceive the larger pattern at work. Each Christmas celebration throughout history had been like a practice run for this moment, gradually building humanity's capacity for collective consciousness. The annual ritual of giving, sharing, and celebrating had been strengthening the species' ability to maintain coherent emotional states. As Christmas Day progressed, the transformation accelerated. People began spontaneously developing abilities that had once been considered miraculous: direct knowledge of others' thoughts and feelings, the ability to influence physical matter through conscious intention, and access to what appeared to be a universal field of information. The alien ships adjusted their energy field to help humanity integrate these changes safely. Their message shifted: the convergence proceeds as planned. Prepare for final integration. The ships began moving into a new formation, creating what appeared to be a massive geometric circuit around the planet. Sarah's team discovered that the enhanced consciousness field was beginning to affect electronic systems worldwide. Computers started exhibiting unprecedented processing capabilities, and the Internet itself showed signs of becoming a direct extension of human consciousness. The boundary between technology and awareness was dissolving. As Part 4 drew to a close, humanity stood on the brink of its greatest transformation. The true purpose of Christmas, as both a celebration and a technology for consciousness evolution, had been revealed. But the greatest challenge still lay ahead: the moment when past, present, and future would fully converge, and humanity would have to choose its path forward. Sarah Chen prepared her team for what she knew would be the most critical phase of the transformation. The aliens, their future selves, had shown them the potential, but the choice to embrace it had to be made freely by humanity in the present. As the sun began to set on Christmas Day, the final countdown to this momentous decision began. The Christmas Miracle. As Christmas Day entered its final hours, the world held its breath in anticipation. The alien ships, now known to be vessels of humanity's future selves, began their final maneuver. They arranged themselves into a vast geometric pattern that mirrored the constellation visible in the sky the night of the first Christmas, creating a bridge between past, present, and future. Sarah Chen stood in her laboratory, surrounded by holographic displays showing the unprecedented surge in human consciousness. The patterns had evolved beyond anything their instruments could fully measure, taking on forms that seemed to exist in dimensions beyond normal spacetime. "It's time," she announced to the Global Council. "Everything we've learned about Christmas, about consciousness, about human potential, it's all been leading to this moment." Tommy Williams and his star had become the nexus of something extraordinary. The ancient artifact, responding to the culmination of events, began projecting images of possible futures, billions of them, streaming through the air like aurora borealis. Each timeline showed a different potential outcome of this crucial moment in human evolution. Dr. Martinez's voice crackled over the quantum-enhanced communication network: "The space-time tiers are synchronizing. They're forming some kind of interdimensional gateway." In Vatican City, Cardinal Romano made a final breakthrough in translating the ancient texts. The manuscripts hadn't just been predicting this moment, they were a message from humanity's future selves, explaining why Christmas had been chosen as the catalyst for transformation. The holiday's unique combination of joy, generosity, and global synchronization created the perfect conditions for species-wide evolution. Emma Chen's quantum mechanics team detected something unprecedented: the barrier between consciousness and physical reality was beginning to dissolve. Human thoughts and emotions were directly affecting the fabric of spacetime, not through the alien technology, but through humanity's own awakening abilities. Around the world, Christmas celebrations transformed into something entirely new. Children's innocent belief in magic became a tangible force, their pure intentions manifesting as visible waves of light that rippled through the quantum field. Every act of kindness, every expression of love, every moment of joy contributed to a growing wave of conscious energy that encircled the planet. The floating Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, now pulsing with intense light, became one of thousands of nodes in a planetary network of consciousness. Similar phenomena appeared at Christmas celebrations worldwide, each location becoming a focal point for human potential. Through his connection with the star, Tommy received the final revelation: the future isn't just showing us what we might become, he explained to the scientists gathered around him. They're showing us what we already are. Christmas wasn't just a holiday, it was training wheels for consciousness. Sarah's global monitoring network captured the moment when human consciousness reached critical mass. The combined focus of billions of minds, all celebrating in their own ways but united in purpose, created a coherent field of awareness that extended beyond Earth's atmosphere. The planet itself began to resonate with this new frequency of human experience. The alien ships initiated the final phase of their mission. Instead of remaining separate entities, they began to merge with the human consciousness field, revealing themselves as future extensions of humanity's own awareness. The barrier between present and future started to blur. Dr. Martinez's instruments recorded something remarkable: the tears in spacetime were healing themselves, not through any external intervention, but through the collective intention of human consciousness. The very force that the future beings had initially warned about, humanity's capacity for joy, was proving to be the universe's own healing mechanism. Emma made a stunning discovery about the nature of Christmas itself. The holiday had been acting as a temporal anchor point, a moment when human consciousness naturally reached toward its highest potential. Each year, this global celebration had been strengthening humanity's ability to maintain coherent states of positive emotion. The military's global defense networks transformed into a web of consciousness-enhancing technology, their original purpose evolved into something greater. The same systems designed for monitoring threats became instruments for coordinating humanity's collective awareness. Cardinal Romano found himself working alongside quantum physicists and spiritual leaders from every tradition, their combined wisdom revealing a deeper truth: all paths of human spiritual development had been leading to this moment of convergence. Christmas, with its message of universal love and connection, had provided the perfect template for planetary transformation. As the sun began to set on Christmas Day, the final phase of transformation began. The star in Tommy's possession initiated a cascade of awakening that rippled through the global field of human consciousness. Every Christmas tree, every holiday light, every ceremonial candle became a conductor for this wave of evolution. Sarah Chen watched in amazement as her instruments recorded the impossible: human consciousness was no longer bound by linear time. Past, present, and future versions of humanity began to communicate freely, sharing wisdom and understanding across the ages. The Christmas spirit, that feeling of timeless joy and connection, became a permanent state of human awareness. The alien ships, their mission nearly complete, began to dissolve into pure light. As they did, their true nature became clear to everyone: they were not separate beings but aspects of humanity's own higher consciousness, reaching back through time to guide their own evolution. Tommy's star revealed its final purpose. It wasn't just a key or a measuring device, it was a seed of future consciousness, planted throughout human history in various forms, waiting for the moment when humanity would be ready to fully awaken. Similar artifacts had appeared in every culture, disguised as religious relics, sacred objects, and mysterious treasures. The tears in spacetime transformed into permanent bridges between dimensions of consciousness. Humanity had not only passed the test, they had transcended its original purpose, discovering a potential for growth and evolution that even their future selves hadn't fully anticipated. As Christmas Day drew to a close, the world witnessed the final miracle. The enhanced state of consciousness didn't fade away as the holiday ended. Instead, it stabilized, becoming humanity's new baseline for awareness. The lesson of Christmas, that joy, love, and connection are transformative forces, became a living reality. Sarah Chen gathered with her family, including Emma and Dr. Martinez, beneath the still-floating Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. They watched as the last light of Christmas Day painted the sky in colors that had never been seen before on Earth. The star that had started everything now shone with a light that connected past, present, and future in a continuous stream of conscious evolution. "We did it," Tommy whispered, the star floating gently back into his hands, its light now a permanent part of Earth's transformed atmosphere. "We remembered who we really are." The alien's final message echoed in the consciousness of every human being: the circle is complete. What was separated has been reunited. The eternal celebration begins. And so, on that Christmas day, humanity discovered that the holiday they had celebrated for centuries was more than just a tradition, it was a blueprint for their own evolution. The attempt to stop Christmas had instead revealed its true purpose, a catalyst for the greatest transformation in human history. As the world stepped into this new era of consciousness, people understood that every future Christmas would be both a celebration of this transformation and an opportunity to explore even greater potentials. The lights that had once decorated their homes now shone from within every human heart, a permanent reminder of the day when humanity discovered its true nature through the very force that had seemed to threaten it, the unstoppable power of celebration, joy, and love. The story of how aliens tried to stop Christmas became the story of how Christmas transformed humanity. And in the end, it wasn't just a miracle, it was the beginning of an entirely new chapter in human evolution, one where the spirit of Christmas became the eternal state of human consciousness, lighting the way forward into an unlimited future of possibility and wonder.